Level. I can't check. It's too much saying yes. What's your concern? Well, I'm saying no. I think the video has good qualities. So we are live on YouTube already. Yeah, like Zoho, you know Zoho has YouTube integration. Oh.
Already live for the so one time we have 3 minutes ago.
I'm already. Hello?
Can you hear me? You have the key to this place. All right, we're good to go.
Yes.
All phones on silent, please. Are we good to go?
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining. Let's just give everyone some minutes to join. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining the webinar Building an Investment Portfolio. My name is Jennifer Iheanacho, and I'm going to be your anchor for today. So first off, we're going to have a member of our sales executive at CASAFINA Development speak to us a little about our product that we have here. Amaka Dike is her name, so she's going to give us a little product knowledge on some of our products here at CASAFINA Development. So Amaka, please go ahead.
Right. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you guys hear me? I'd like to know if you can hear me. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing my screen.
So you need to check.
Okay. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm going to be sharing my screen. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay.
Please carry on.
Okay. So Ile Ajay is actually one of our commercial projects at Ojota called, Ile Ajay means home of trade, hub of wealth. And since we're talking about building an investment portfolio today, I'm going to be talking about how you can key into this investment. Ile Ajay is actually one of our commercial projects located at Ojota. Can you see my screen, please? I want you guys to follow.
Screen, please cut. Hello, Amaka. Yes, we can see your screen. Please carry on. Amaka, sorry, we can't hear you.
Oh,
Just chill, relax, everybody. Smile.
Sorry, Amaka, I think you're mute.
Okay. Apologies for the break in transmission. Can you guys hear me now? Okay, moving on. So as I was saying, Ile Aje is it comprises of over 250 individual lockup shops at Ojota. And to key into this project, I'll be giving you the unique features and reasons why you should key into this project. As we all know, we're talking about building an investment portfolio, and the following benefits are the reason why you should be a part of this project. One, I would say, is capital preservation. For example, when we started selling Iliaje started selling at 10 million naira, and currently Iliaje is going for 13 million naira. So you can see that those that keyed into this project when it was selling at 10 million naira would say they preserved some capital because you've saved a sum of 3 million naira. Also, another benefit of keying into this project is to get cash flow and high rental income. I'm going to be telling you just one of our research we did currently at Ojota. To own a shop at Ojota, you'll be getting a rental income per annum for 1 million to 1 million to 1.2 million naira. So if you key into this project, like we all know, you'll be getting a sum of 1 million to 1.2 per annum, which is why I mentioned high rental income as a benefit of owning a shop at Iliaje, and also the cash flow. And also, you don't need to break a bank to be a part of this project. We have a flexible payment plan where you can spread your payments across 12 months, interest free, and extending above 12 months. You can even go beyond 18 to 24 months. The proposed facility for this project, we're going to be having adequate toilet facility, security, car parking space, waste management, among others. I'm now going to be showing you what the current price is, like I mentioned. So Ileaje is going to be on 2 floors. We have the ground floor, the first floor, and the second floor. The ground floor is currently going for 13 million naira, while the first floor 12.5 million naira, and the second floor 12 million naira. You know, I mentioned you can key in by not breaking the bank. So with the flexible payment plan, you can make an initial deposit of 2.5 million and spread the balance across 24 months to be a part of this project. If you need more information, you can always reach out to us or ask some questions in the Q&A session. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Amaka. You can start sharing your screen now. Okay, so now on to the business of today. We're going to have our speaker, the GCOO of CASAFINA Development Company, Dr. Sheyi Olufemi. He has over a decade of experience in this field, and his mission is to build up young millionaires, billionaires, and basically to share his knowledge on.
I just need to quickly say this. If you can hear me, I'd like you to just, if you can hear me, please just kindly just send me like any emoji. Just you can tap. I can hear you. We have. Oh, thank you. I can see your hand there. That's raised hand. Somebody's raising the hand. That's all. Only. Yeah. Please just raise your hand if you can hear me. Thank you, Mr. Sheyadara Legbe. Thank you. I need to also be able to use the screen. Thank you, winner. Thank you, Olakunle. Do me a favor. I still have a marker screen. Thank you, Bosse. I will just I just need a bit more people. Once you can hear me, just let me know. Cool. Why is this? I just want to be sure before I move on. 3 people raising their hand at the moment. Emmanuel Matthew. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, cool. Now, now that I know quite a number of people can hear me, we would take it very fast. I'm supposed to be able to, I think I have just like 45 minutes to this. Now, let me quickly say this. My name is Olufemi Sheyi again. I'm a real estate salesman. I buy, build, and sell real estate. That is what I do. And in the course of this, I've been doing this for over a decade. And in the course of this, I've had the opportunity to interact with people across. If you can still just keep, I need you to once you for those who still want to raise up your hand, there's an award for raising up your hand. So please let's just go do it. I think Erede was getting an award from me. Olakule is getting an award. Adalegbe is getting an award. We're going okay, Mr. Victor is getting an award. Winner, yes, you are. Now I'm beginning to think that because I said that there's an award, this place is buzzing. That is good. Thank you. Somebody even offered me a fist bump. That is fantastic. Thank you. I can do that back to you. So let's go straight to the matter of the day. The first question, I'm going to be sharing my screen during the course of this conversation sometimes, and then I will just revert back to this video. But let me throw a question to you. How many of us have taken time out to fill that form, to do a risk assessment, risk assessment form that was sent? How many of us have done that? If you have done that, I'd like you to just drop in the note, I have done that, or I filled it, not to raise up your hand now. I have done that. I need you to just, is it possible for them to drop a message? Yeah, please. You can drop a message on the chat group if you fill that risk assessment form, because it's very important. I'm going to actually take that. If you filled it, please drop it in the chat box. I have filled it, done, or you could just say done. Done. I didn't get a risk assessment form. There's somebody there who did not get a risk assessment form. So it was sent to the chat group, to the WhatsApp group that we created. Are you in the, if you're there, please, are you in the WhatsApp group? If you're not in the WhatsApp group, let me know. I just, please, could you just let me know? Are you in that particular WhatsApp group? That this is the second person saying they can't get it. Could you please find out, are you in the WhatsApp group? Just hold on. All right. I think we have quite a number of people. I've done it, but did not send back the screenshot. I'm not in any WhatsApp group. And that's Mr. Sheya Daralegbe is not in any WhatsApp. That's Sheya Daralegbe is not in any WhatsApp group. I've done it, but did not send back the screenshot. Come on, send back the screenshot, please. I didn't get risk assessment from. What we're going to do is this: whether you've done it or not, so that we don't stretch the webinar for too long, I'm going to try so that we can fill it. We're going to put it on the screen, and then we're going to fill it together, and we can see the process, and then I will now explain it. So let's go straight on. I'm going to be sharing my screen now, so just kindly oblige me, share my screen. I will share my screen, and then please, if you can see my screen once I share it, I would love you to just let me know. Just hold on for a minute. I want to see. Now, if you can see my screen, I'd like you to just let me know. Can you screen can you see my screen, please? Or share screen. Can you see my screen? Uh-oh. Okay, cool. What about now? If you can see my screen, please let me know. I just want to be sure. Can you see my screen? Can you see it? Now, so let's start with the question, because part of what we're talking about is building an investment portfolio. But I'm going to put specific number to it. How do I build? For some of us, we've done a bit more than the 10 million. For some of us, we've done far more than that. And there are some who have not done up to 10 million. So I'm going to use 10 million as benchmark, because part of my goal is to work with and create multimillionaires. And when I say multimillionaires, the minimum size of the portfolio should be about 10 million. So what is an investment? An asset or an item acquired with the goal of generating income or appreciating over time. Those are the two major goals of any investment. First of all, you want to have an item or an asset in your portfolio that can continue to increase in value. So you buy it at 100 naira, you buy it at 10 million, and then in 5 years, that same asset is now worth about 25 million. Or you buy it at, that's one goal. The second goal is cash flow. What does it mean? Or income? What does it mean? You buy an asset. You can pick any of those assets. Let's pick a stock. You buy the stock of Nigerian breweries, or you buy the stock of Unilever, and then at the end of the year, first of all, they also they will declare dividend. Let's say the share is worth about 100 naira. They are declaring 1 naira per share. That is 1% return on your money. That is the cash flow that we're talking about. Just hold on. That is the cash flow that we are talking about. So that is what an asset does. Now, I'm going to digress a bit. A lot of time there has been this conversation. The house I live in, is it an asset or a liability? I'm going to leave that question, but let me engage all of us in this room. I'm going to get off the share screen, and I'm going to ask us, if you are living in your house, is it an asset or a liability? Because I know that is one of the major question some people have asked me in recent time. Is my okay? I didn't get the risk assessment form. We've sent that to you. Okay, cool. Now, for the argument about that, some people say if you're living in your house, first of all, the house is not generating cash. In fact, you are spending more money in terms of maintenance, so that cannot be an asset. It's debatable. But let's just move on. For me, I will categorize the home you live in as an asset because it can appreciate in value. And sometimes some investors will buy a house because of tax advantage. They live in it for a big period of time, and then after appreciating for a while, they will sell it and then make some capital gain. But we've defined what an investment is. The other thing I would love to quickly just mention is this. The problem in building an investment portfolio for most people is because they look at a shiny object, which is why a lot of us in this room, sometimes we're more interested in the things that can generate 5, 10, 20% per month, which is why we flock to crypto, we flock to Forex, and some of us, we've been victim of MMM, we've been victim of, I think there's even, there are quite a number of tap or whatever. We do that because they look shiny, they look attractive, they look like the return is so mouth-watering. And the way people describe it, the way people flock to it, we're so enthralled by that. And then we put our money because our cousin said we should do it, and the grandfather of our niece said we should add money to that bucket, and then we rush into it. That is one of the problems in building an investment portfolio. Most of the investments that would be sustainable, that would tide you over, are boring. What it means is you need time before you can continue to see significant dividend. But most people never want to do it, which is why we end up losing money. Anything that looks too good to be true, that looks too shiny, that asset has the problem. That kind of investment has the problem. That is the first one. Number two, I'm sure we're still going to talk about it in the course of this conversation, is that you need to know about the investment. That is why we said it's boring. You need to go read, you need to attend courses, you need to sit with professionals so you can understand any investment that you cannot explain to yourself, to a 5 or 7 year old child. Then you need to be careful with it. You need to go along with an expert if you are deciding to go in that direction. So the second point I'd like to make here is that most investments that are sustainable are boring. And when I say boring, I mean it takes time, it takes a lot of effort, it takes knowledge. It's not something you just say, oh, my cousin is trading Forex, or my cousin is trading stock, or my cousin is in real estate, and they said that the real estate land somewhere in this place is growing, is going to multiply times 5. So because of that, I'm going to invest. Do not do that. Go educate yourself. Go do a bit of a deep dive into the asset. And this is why you should do that. For most of us, an average, if you're earning 500,000, for example, and you want to buy, and I've seen this over and over, somebody who's earning $1 million per month, that's 12 million, wants to buy a land of 6 million, which is about half of the annual salary that the person will get. And then the person buys, is paying gradually, maybe on a monthly basis. And then you ask them, this land that you bought, where is it located? Let's say it's somewhere around Mowe or somewhere around Ekpe or somewhere around the budget. Okay, good. Have you been to that side? No. Have you done the survey? No. Have you fenced it? No. Have you started perfecting your document? No. These are some of the problems that we have when we invest a portion of our life, and life, is measured. This money that we earn, particularly for most of us who earn it on a monthly basis, you are exchanging time for money. So essentially, what you are doing is trading your life, to get those rewards. You need to be very careful about how you handle the reward that you've gotten in exchange for your life, so that you can deploy it in a way that it can multiply and increase your runway. You need to actually think through before you invest all the time. That is one reason why most people miss it. The third point I quickly want to mention before we go into the meat of the matter and we start with how to set our investment goal is that the number one tool that you have to your advantage is the element called compounding. What does it mean? I'm going to share my secret. It's easy for somebody who is earning, let's say, 150, and I'm sure a lot of us might be earning between 100 and 150. Some earn far higher than that. But let's even look at on the average. Yeah, if you're earning between 100 to 150. And then if you're earning between 100 to 150, and I tell you that part of my goal is to make sure that you build a 10 million naira portfolio. What most people would tell me right now as we speak is to say, look, this is not possible. It cannot work. How would I save 10 million? That means I have to save all the money I earn 100% over the next 5 to 6 years for me to generate 10 million. That is one of the myths, one of the fallacies, one of the lies of those who do not want to invest. What I'm telling you categorically, if you're earning 100,000, if you're earning 150,000, by the end of this training, you would see the clear path. And I'm going to mention the tool that is you need to rely on. You see a clear path to building a 10 million naira portfolio, but you need to understand it takes time, it takes consistency, it takes discipline, it takes knowledge, and it takes your commitment to do that. So let's start with, I said one tool that is important for you is compounding, the power of compounding. So I'm going to share my screen now, and we're going to do an experiment. Let's say the person is earning 150. Let's use 150 as the benchmark, right? If you're earning 150, I'm going to throw a question to the house, and I need you to please drop it in that chat box or where you can drop your question. What percentage of somebody earning 150? What percentage do you think the person should save? I want. Please, I need your answer on this. Please just drop it there. It will help me so we can take it from there. What percentage do you think the person should save? If you're earning, I'm expecting your feedback. What percentage do you think the person should save? Just put 10%, 20%, 30%. Put it in the chat box if you are there. I like to just, I'm gonna, what percentage? Okay, somebody said 20%. Another person is saying, what percentage is that? Sorry, Balogun. Okay, good. Mr. Balogun Abdulsaman. What percentage? Let's quickly just do that so that we can move on. What percentage do you think somebody who's earning 150 should save? Please drop your answers in the question because we're going to take it, and I'm going to show you how somebody that is earning just 150,000 can actually build it up to get to 1 to 10 million portfolio. So if you're in this group and you are listening to me and you can hear me, I'd like to get your comment. Please just keep dropping. I'm going to pause for some few seconds. Somebody's earning 150. What percentage should this person keep aside for investment? We're going to take that figure and we're going to show how you will connect it using the powerful tool called compound interest. What percentage of that should the person save? Should he save 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, or 50%? If you're in the chat room, I'd like you to just quickly just drop that. I'm still waiting. I'm waiting. or this people are raising their hand. Are you having challenge? I need to be sure why people are raising their hand so that I know whether they're having challenge. Well, I'm going to clear this now. I like to know if you're raising your hand, why. Let's see, 2 raised and Bosses raises and Olakunle hand is still up. Please, if you're raising your hand because you want to contribute something, kindly just drop it in the Q&A. There seems to be a bit of a quiet moment in this room. I'm not getting feedback that I want. Is anybody dropping? People are dropping. How come I can't say it? Oh, Q&A. I'm so sorry. Quite a number. Whoa. Okay, I can see it. I'm so sorry. Somebody said 20%, 30%, 10%, 20%, 33%, 30%. Quite a number. But the chat box is not working. Okay, yeah, I can see that. So I'm going to use a figure. One of the popular figure I have, I think the most prominent one is about 30%, right? It's about 30%. So let's use 30%. Now, the person is earning 150,000. The assumption is how, by the time this person removes this, removes that, it's not likely that this person is able to generate 10 million in portfolio. Remember, it takes time. So let's experiment with a compound interest calculator. I said the number one tool you have on your side is time and compound interest. So let's go. I'm going to share my screen briefly, and then I'm going to bring on the screen compound interest calculator. Please, Jennifer, I need you to look at it. If you can see the compound interest calculator, I need you to let me know. Jennifer is beside me here. She will just motion to me. Yeah, you can see. Cool. So let's look at this. 30% of 150,000 is what? Is 45,000, correct? So initial investment, you want to start today, you put in 45,000 on a monthly basis. Now, what interest are we going to pick? I'm going to keep 15%. Let me tell you why I think 50% is fair. You can get 15% from a lot of digital savings platform. You can get it from a lot of finance house. In fact, if you want to invest in federal government bonds today, 10-year bond, 15-year bond, you will get 15%. So let's keep it. Now, we say the interest will compound half yearly because let's use federal government bond. That interest is paid on a half yearly basis every 6 months and is paid upfront. So half yearly. Now, this is where the element of time. If the person is earning 150, the person says, you know what? I'm 25 years today. By the time I'm 35, I want to have a portfolio of 10 million. So there's a 10-year tenor. And then every month, this person drops 45. Please, can you can you see what I'm doing? For those of us who are looking at my screen, is it clear? So now I'm gonna revise what I just said. You put 45 at the beginning. Every month you want to take 30% of 150, which is 45,000. Fix it at 15%. Remember, and then for 10 years, and then every month you deposit your 45% from your salary, and then the interest as the interest grows, you also reinvest the interest with the salary. So if they pay you interest in July, for example, the interest is 10,000. You add the 10,000 to the 45 for that month, and then you reinvest it in the same federal government bond. After 10 years, at the end of 10 years, what will your portfolio be? How many of us can see what calculation for 10 years, future investment value? How many of us can see it? Is it clear? Can you see that? What it means is that if you had started, if you're 35 today and you started your salary, you started earning 150 and you have been consistent and putting away 45,000, which is just 30%. Today, your portfolio will be worth about 12.39 million. Now, tell me something, ladies and gentlemen. Let me bring back let me stop sharing so that you can see me. How many of us saw the result? The guy that is earning 150 and said, you know what? I just want to be consistent. I would put away 30% of my salary on a monthly basis. And then at the end of a decade, because I'm planning to start my entrepreneurial journey, I want to have 10 million. Remember that this same person over the course of 10 years would have had increment in the salary because, of course, by reason of experience, the salary would keep increasing. So we're not even talking about factoring in additional money. We're just saying that we assume that this person will continue to earn 150 for that tenure of 10 years. And you can see how that translates to 12 million in terms of portfolio. If you are earning more than 150,000 or more than 100,000 in this room, you have no excuse. You cannot say that I cannot build a multi-million naira portfolio. Now, that is the beginning of of wealth creation. And remember, we just talked at 150. Let's just assume. Let me share my screen again. What if this person decided that, you know what, I'm going to do a bit more. Let's quickly look at this. I'm going to do a bit more than can we see the compound interest calculator that I have in front of us now? Is it clear? What if I want to do a bit more? What if I just decided every year I want to increase my deposit by 20%? That means year one, I do 45, year two, I do 54, and so on and so forth. And this person says, because my salary would also increase, let's even say 15%, so that it doesn't look like we exaggerated a bit. I'm trying to make it as practical. By simply increasing how much you are going to deposit by 15% on a yearly basis, your portfolio at the end of 10 years is 21 million. Because of course we expect you to earn more. 21. If you now say, you know what, I want, because I know that my income is going to increase, so I'm going to increase my deposit, how much I'm investing, by 20% on a monthly basis. What exactly will the portfolio come to? It will come to 25 million. So the question I want to ask you is this: why don't you have the 25 million in your portfolio? Why is your net worth minimum not 25? It's not because you've not earned 100 or 150. Most times it's because you've not kept part of that 100 or part of the 150. You've not invested part of the 100, part of the 150, and you've not compounded the return on those monies. They look small, 30, 40, 50 million, look 50,000 looks small. But when you do it consistently and you put a specific structure to support this your idea, and you are consistent over that period, you can actually build a multi-million naira portfolio. And I'm intentionally leaving the value is 25 million. I'm leaving it on the screen so you can see what could have happened, what could happen if you decide to be consistent. So let's go back to our webinar, and then we can actually just kick off. So we understand exactly that you can actually build a multi-million naira portfolio. So how do you build that portfolio? What exactly is a portfolio in the first place? A portfolio is essentially a collection of different assets in a single basket, to meet certain objectives. That is what a portfolio is. The reason why you need to look at your investment as portfolio is that you need to understand that there are different components that should come into your investment bucket so that you can build a sustainable portfolio. I've seen people, I'm sure some of us I've seen neighbors who, when we were growing up, they were the rich guys on the street, and I've seen it before. And let me digress by telling us a story. There's this person was working with one of the oil servicing firm at that time, and they had the cars, they had whatever it was that you could call relatively comfortable lifestyle. And then fast forward about 20 years later, 18 to 20 years later, I'd graduated from medical school at that time, and I wanted to go and renew my license. So I needed to get a letter. And as I was about to enter the gates of University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital, the person that came to check to give me a tag was the woman that were regarded as a very rich person. And in my, it was a shocker. In my head, the question I was asking is, what could have happened that will make this, that will cause somebody who was here to get to that point? It's saddening. And the simple answer is this: most people who have money, there's a difference between building a portfolio of investment and having cash or having money. Most of us, the only investment we have is cash. The 100% of your net worth is in cash, because you just dump it. You say, well, I have a savings account. Every time you just put money there, and then unfortunately for most people, but if you start saving from January, by December you now use that money to go and do Ashwebi, to do to ball generally. That is not how to build an investment portfolio. So when you're building an investment portfolio, you're asking, what would I put inside these buckets that would edge against devaluation and inflation? I'm sure all of us know what inflation is. Inflation is a relative loss in the purchasing power of any particular currency. So you want to say, what asset can we put inside this place? That's number one. What asset will generate cash? What asset is safe? What asset is risky but can grow very fast, and so on and so forth. So you put all of it into a single basket so that some might go up, some will go down, some will generate cash, some will not generate cash. At the end of the day, you have a portfolio that is very, very healthy. So that is what it means to have an investment portfolio. That's the meaning of a portfolio approach. It's not just about leaving money in the bank, and it's not even, and by the way, yes, we're a real estate firm, but this is not about selling real estate to you. I know some people that the only investment they have is the fact that they've bought one plot in wherever, and then some of them don't even know where the one plot is located. They cannot identify the one plot. They don't have an idea whether the plot is available or not, and that is the biggest single investment they would have. That is the wrong way to invest. If you're going to buy a plot of land, you need to ask, how does a plot of land sit inside my strategy, so that as the plot of land value is going up, I'm still generating cash, I'm still, and so on and so forth. So that is part of the conversation we're going to have today. So before you start building a portfolio, you need to ask yourself, what is my goal? There are two types of goal that you should have. Number one is the number goal. You say, look, I want to build a portfolio of 25 million. That is a number goal. That's the number goal. Two, you can ask the behavioral component of your portfolio. I want to have a portfolio that is aggressive, right? You already said you want to have 25 million net worth, but you want to have one that is aggressive, that can continue to grow at a very fast rate. Or no, I don't want aggressive, because most times growth at a very fast rate comes with some level of risk. I want to have 25 million portfolio that continues to generate cash flow for me. I don't need growth because I don't want any risk. I just want, on my 25 million, I want to be able to do 15% every year without stress, so that I know that I have 375. Or if I can build it up to 50 million, I want to just generate a portfolio that can continue to give me 15% cash flow. That means every year I get 7.5. I'm not interested in growth. I'm not interested in that. And really, it's a strategy. Some people, by reason of age, we're going to talk about that. You don't want a portfolio that is up and down. So that's why you won't put a lot of your money in stock. You won't put it in speculative real estate investment. You just want to put it in debt instrument, what you call fixed income instrument. Fixed income instrument means that I'm going to quickly do this. Somebody sent a message. Please, when you talk of deposit and interest, are you referring to depositing and earning interest in Nigerian banks? Yes, I'm referring to that. What I mean is, you put in. I'm going to come back to, or should we just wait until the end before I start answering the question? Okay, just drop your question. I'm going to take it. Yes, but I'm talking about Nigerian banks. There are quite a number of options we could explore. We could look at and say, look, what if I want to do dollar denominated? We're going to talk about all those ones, and then how you can put it, integrate it into your single strategy. One thing you should do is you have a strategy. You are not just investing and say, oh, I would invest in this one because they said it. You must have a strategy saying, this percentage of my investment will be in bond. This percentage will be in fixed deposit. This percentage will be in stock. This percentage will be in real estate. And then you keep rebalancing your portfolio per time. That is the way I work. So please just keep dropping your question so that we can move on. So you need to set, first of all, what is my objective? Your objective can be growth. You want it to keep multiplying. Now, how do you determine which one is your objective? How do you structure your portfolio? Now, please, if you have a pen, this is where you need to write. There are quite a number of factors that affect the kind of portfolio you would have. So we're trying to construct your portfolio now. The first thing, the first structure, or the first pillar that you should consider when you're building your portfolio is, what is your risk profile? And now, remember, we are sending a link at the beginning to say, please go do your risk assessment. Now, for those of us who have done it, you can have, like, from different spectrum. There are different ways of classifying portfolios. Some will classify it simply as conservative, some balanced, and then aggressive. Some would say very conservative, moderate, moderately aggressive, or very aggressive, or aggressive or very aggressive. There are quite a number. But for the sake of this conversation, I would just want to divide it into three broad categories. You have very conservative portfolio. You have very aggressive portfolio. On the other side, the aggressive portfolio is also referred to as the growth portfolio. The conservative portfolio is often referred to as a cash flow portfolio. And then in the middle, you have what you call, balanced portfolio or moderate portfolio. The balanced portfolio combines elements of cash flow plus elements of growth into it. So those are the three. Now, you can only determine what kind of portfolio is appropriate for you if you have filled that form and you have it. So let's look at, I need a volunteer in the class. I need you to just simply say what kind of, for those of us who have done it, please just indicate what was your portfolio. I will just call out your name and then we'll try to construct how you should go about your investment, right? We're going to use you. So this is like we're building an investment portfolio for you right here and now, and then we'll use you so you can take it and use it as a map that you're going to use. So who is our volunteer? Is anybody volunteering? Has anybody volunteered? The first person, sorry. You've taken that risk assessment, you've gotten the result. I just need you to drop, my portfolio risk profile says conservative or very conservative. Please just drop it there. Just drop it. Has anybody dropped? Okay, good. We're going to use, who was the first one? Franklin, right? So Franklin says is moderate. Moderate means you are somewhere in the middle, right? You want a mix of cash flow and you want a mix of growth. That is where you are. So we're going to use, mine is aggressive portfolio. Okay, so we're just going to combine, sorry, I nearly tipped over the table. Now we're going to combine two, we're going to talk about, use Franklin and Akeem. My assumption in this webinar is that you have a consistent source of income, right? That is one of the beginning. In fact, the first step in building a portfolio is to ask yourself, how can I make my income very consistent? For some of us who get our monies on a quarterly basis or do contracts, you need to be able to amortize. Let's say you do contract and you get average about 2-3 contracts in a year that will give you like 5-6 million. And you say, I want to be able to do 50,000 every month. That's 600,000. So whatever time you get a contract, you need to make provision for that, and then you just reinvest that. So this person that has, so we're using Franklin and Akeem. You have moderate, and then Akeem has aggressive portfolio. I'm just going to. The first thing is to decide what is your goal. What is your investment goal? Your investment goal can be, I want to build a net worth of. Can we have what is your investment goal in terms of size? I said earlier, the first goal is number driven. The second goal is behavior driven. Behavior of your portfolio, disposition of your portfolio, the nature of your portfolio. So let's speak Franklin. What have you? If you don't need to have done that before, but do you have a specific target in terms of the size of your portfolio? What are you looking at? Can you provide that answer, please? What are you looking at? As Akeem responded, this is because of my age. Yes, I'm over 50 years old. Akeem said this is because of my age. Let me say this. Let's not make the older you are, the more conservative your portfolio should be. The younger you are, the more aggressive your portfolio can be. The idea behind aggressive portfolio is you invest in high risk instruments that sometimes you can lose, but if the time you gain, you can multiply it. So if you're older than, if you're 50, you want to actually start looking at very conservative portfolio. And this is why, because of age, that, first of all, you want to work till maybe 65, thereabout. So if you're targeting, okay, I will be able to earn income consistently, years of consistent investment. And my advice, if you are getting to this age, is to actually build a portfolio that can continue to yield cash flow at some point. When you decide, what, I don't want to do this also again. So I'm going to take on Mr. Akeem and then Franklin. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Can you, if you can hear me now, let's just make it snappy because of time. So Franklin, you said 2 million per year. Is that your income or is that how much you can invest? I just need to know. Is that your income? Yeah. Thank you. Is that your income or how much you can invest? Let's use Franklin, who's suggested a figure. Is that how much you can invest or how much you earn? I need quick answer so that because of time, we still have some minutes to go, and I need to cover quite a number of things. I'm going to assume that that is the amount that you can invest, right? Franklin is not responding to me. That's like income expectation per year, right? That's how much you earn. So that's roughly about 160. Sorry? My yield. So that's how much you want to earn per year from your investments. We're not even going to that place yet. What I'm interested in, how much do you think that you want to, okay, let's just go ahead. So let's say that, let's set a target to say if you want to earn 2 million per year from your investment, at conservative 15%. What it means is that you need to have a portfolio of about I'm going to answer Tolulope's question. And honestly, no, I'm going to answer it. So please note it down, Jennifer. I've made a lot of mistake in investment too. And you know, the thing with investment is sometimes when you make that mistake, and you might be honest, right? Nobody wants to understand that you were honest and things just didn't pan out. So I'm going to answer that from personal experience, right? So I'm going to go back to the call. So let's say Franklin says, I want to earn 2 million per year from my investment. When the portfolio is built up, if you have 15 million or 20, so you can target 20 million naira portfolio as your target. So it means that 10% of that 20 million is 2 million every year. So that is the beginning of setting goal. You first of all say, okay, I want to be able to earn 2 million every year from my investment. You can say, I want to be able to earn 50 million every year. So now, let me use 2.5 because of what we did. You want to be able to earn 2.5 million every year from your portfolio. So what it means is you want to build a portfolio of 25 million so that you now take the entire portfolio, put it in fixed income instruments that is very safe. So for the rest of your life, you can continue to earn 2.5 million every year. So that is how you set your goal. You can decide this is how much I want to earn, and then take it from there and then set it goal. So we've agreed for Franklin that your portfolio target should be 25 million. We can take Mr. Akim and said your portfolio target is 50 million, or let's say 60 million, because you have just 10, 15 years. So let's take Mr. Akim, who is going to retire, let's say in 10 years or 15. Let's use 15. Let's stretch it to 15. I'm going to share my screen very briefly. You can see for both of them, Mr. Akim, who is 50, says, you know what? By the time I'm 65, I want to be able to earn from my investment portfolio about 7 million or 6 million every year, or about 9 million every year. So for Mr. Akim to be able to earn 9 million every year, you need to build a portfolio of 60 million and then put it in an instrument that can continue for the rest of your life to give you 15%. So how much do you need to put? You can see how, first of all, setting that target is the beginning. Then you can now walk back and say, how do I get to build that portfolio for 15 years? So let's quickly go back to, I'm going to quickly share my screen and go back to my compound interest calculator. And then Mr. Akim wants to do 60 million in a year. So what if he's putting aside 60,000 every month and then keeps it as for the next 15 years at the same 15%? How much is he going to have at the end of 15 years? Let's take a look. Can you see my screen, please, gentlemen and ladies? It's still coming up. So if Mr. Akim does 60, can you see it now? Ooh, I need people to see it. Can you see it now? Uh-oh. I need you to see it. You can see it now? oh, great. So if you can see my screen now, can you see my screen now? You can see now. What I just did was say, okay, what if we're talking about Mr. Kim? We're going to put in, he keeps 70,000. I don't know what he's earning at the moment every month, and then invest it at 15%. How much would it be at the end of 15 years? Let me, Mr. Kim, we're using your we're setting the goal for you, 15 years. I think this connection is a bit slow. Okay, cool. Now, you can, since you can see it, let me. I want to make it. I want to make it as practical as possible. If Mr. Kim kept 70,000 every month for the next 15 years, and he keeps reinvesting at 15% in a Nigerian bank, in 15 years, he would have a portfolio of 45 million. So what it means is, you can say, okay, since you are targeting 60, just increase it to 80,000 every month, whatever it is. So you can see how we've arrived at what Mr. Kim can actually be putting aside on a monthly basis. First of all, went to the 45 or 60 million, and then we'll walk back to say with 70 or 80, they can build a portfolio of 40 million, and then take that 40 million, put it in a fixed income instrument, and begin to earn, let's say 15%, that's about 6 million every month. If he increases it to 80-60 target. So your goal in terms of, you've got to affect how much you are going to put aside on a monthly basis and affect the instrument that you're going to put in. So let's assume you've set that goal and you decided, now you know that I'm supposed to put, you can use, anybody can actually go online to check compound interest calculator and use it to work back what you need to put aside. So you now know the action plan is very simple. I want to take 70,000 from my 500,000 naira, from my 600,000 naira salary every month, and I want to put it in the fixed income in this type of instrument for the next 15 years, so that I can build a portfolio that will now continue to yield for me about 5 or 6 million. That is how to set your action plan. So let's move on to the next step. Before you start, what should be the structure of your portfolio? We're quickly going to talk about what are those 4 or 5 things that affects the kind of portfolio you should have. Your age. The older you are, the more conservative you want to be. That's one. Number 2, in fact, there's this rule that 100 minus your age should be the, so if you have 60, for example, 100 minus 60, that is equal to 40. The portion of your portfolio that should be stock or equities now, and some high risk portfolio should not be more than 40%. That is one rule that you can adhere to. So you want to be, so what kind of portfolio do you build? How do you even start a portfolio? So you've done your risk assessment. You think your portfolio should be moderate, your portfolio should be very aggressive, your portfolio should be moderately aggressive. So how do you build it? Building portfolio is like building a house. I'm going to share something with us now. I'm going to share my screen, and then so that we can all just 1 minute. I'm going to share my screen now. I need to see my windows here. Sorry, entire screen. Please, I'm trying to just share my screen. Okay. I don't know if you can see my PowerPoint. Is it okay? Gonna try to just share my screen. Yeah, okay, cool. Can you see my screen? Yes. Am I mute? Am I still mute? I'm not mute, right? But can you see my screen? What can you see? What you're supposed to see, I don't know. I think I'm. Can you see? What can you see? You will see something like a house, purpose, right? Can you see that? Okay, cool. Now, when you are building an investment portfolio, it's like building a house. There are three levels that you need to build. You know, I'm using the example of the participant that we said is 50 years. We decided he's going to build a conservative portfolio. His target is 60 million over a 15-year period. We've walked back and said he's going to be putting aside 80,000 every month. So all those elements are there. Now, when you're building your portfolio, please, 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 no matter how much in a hurry you are, you don't want to put all your money in a single asset, you know, at the beginning. So the first step I usually say is this: when you're building your portfolio, you want to decide what exactly do I need in terms of cash for in 3 months. What is my overhead, or what is my emergency fund? Usually the advice is that your emergency fund, how much you're going to keep in that particular account, a fixed deposit account preferably, that can earn you between 12 to 15. You want to keep equivalent of 3 to 6 months of your current income in that. So if you're earning 500,000, you want to say, can I first of all, your first job is not to start jumping on property or to start saying I want to invest in these. And you know, your first job is, can I build a cash reserve of 1.5 million, or can I build a cash reserve of 3 million preferably? So once is until you have that you can now move on to the next time and say, now I have 1.5, I have 3 million, which is 6 months of my living expense already covered for emergencies, and I want to start investing. Now, the reason why you need to have that is, and I've seen it over and over, I've seen people who buy land and then 6 months later they are stranded for cash. They quickly want to liquidate, and then some of them would have to sell at a discounted price because they are under pressure. So you want to actually minimize that. So if you have emergency, that's number one. And also under those emergencies, you want to cover your health in health insurance. You want to do car insurance. You want to do home insurance, and so on and so forth, so that you are covered for at least 6 months to 1 year. So once you have that, you now decide. Now, that has nothing to do yet with it. It's just a reserve that you need to have. We're going to pick the man with the conservative portfolio. I'm going to go back to my screen. I'm going to end the show, and then I will pick one of the stuff we did earlier for some of us. Now, can we see my screen now? I'm showing you 5 types of portfolio. 5 types of portfolio that is doable. Can we see my screen? What are you seeing? Okay, I'm going to stop and reshare now. We're already eating into the time. All right. Okay, this is. Can you see this one now? Okay. Yeah. So now, I'm going to come back to Mr. Akim and say, look, I want to build a conservative portfolio. So we're going to look at, for him, that is, if you're about 50, you will say, okay, now, so what are you going to put? 73% of your money, you are putting 100,000 every month. 70,000 out of that will go into fixed deposit, bonds, and those kind of what you call fixed income instruments. Then you cannot say, after putting, if you have 100, then 25,000 out of it, you want to put it into stock. You want to get an investment account with any of the registered stockbroker, and then start experimenting with stock. That is what your portfolio should look like. If you are very aggressive, you're young, you're 20, or you're in your early 20s or 30s, and you still have time, you say, look, I just want to grow. I'm not interested in cash flow at the moment because I'm still working. You will say, you want to put most of your cash in stocks. Now, part of what you want to also do, because to balance that on the risk of stocks, you want to put some of those, your 98%, in real estate, because real estate can grow just like stock or equity. So you can see how we've built it from the beginning. You first of all had your goal. You now know how much you're going to put in aside, and then you also now know how much am I going to put in this instrument, and how much am I going to put in different kind of instruments. So that is how to start from the end in mind. Set your goal, know how much, what your action plan is, and then you keep putting it aside based on the structure that you've built for yourself. Because of our time, I'm just going to skip to the end of this presentation. We're still going to have sessions that we're going to talk deeply on how you structure those your portfolio and how you should structure those your portfolio. And we're going to be taking this entire group into an investment mastermind group or investment community where we're going to be dropping these tips, and we're going to be having one-on-one sessions. We're going to be having conversations around how you build your portfolio. So that is what we're going to be doing. So please, I can't hear any. For those that can't hear very well, I'm sure that we have recorded versions of this video. I'm just going to skip to the end. The first thing is this: you need to start today. If you've not been consistent with your investment, you need to decide based on your goal, and you know how to arrive at that goal. How much do I want to be keeping aside today? And then you want to set up a supporting structure. If you're working anywhere, you don't want to trust yourself. You want to write to your company, say every month, remove 50,000 from my salary, remove 100,000 from my salary, and put it in this investment account. Preferably, you can even automate the investment account to be able to distribute based on your asset allocation. And then you need to set up your emergency fund, and then you need to now start scaling your investment. But the most important investment, I've talked about putting it in stock, putting it in this one. The most important investment is you. Right? You need to invest in knowledge. You need to invest in yourself. You need to understand the instrument you want to invest in. Take classes on investment like this. Go to paid classes that teaches you how to trade stock, how to buy real estate, how to invest in fixed income instruments, and so on and so on. Yes, we're going to do a lot more, but you need to invest in yourself. The maximum return on investment that you can get is investment that you make on yourself. So you need to take it very, very seriously. And as I wrap up today, I'm going to say this, that because we do real estate, and the reason why we do real estate is because we've realized that that is one of the most reliable form of investment. But this is not the time to try to sell you real estate. But for some of you, you might be interested in building your portfolio. You might be interested in, looking at how real estate can play a part in building portfolio, whether you want to do a conservative portfolio, you want to do an aggressive portfolio, how real estate can actually be part of that. You want to also join the chat group and then drop your question. Our community manager, Timmy, will be on hand to organize those sessions, to organize one-on-one coaching. But you want to consider real estate as a significant part of your portfolio. And you can start at a very small level. You can decide, okay, you know what, I want to just invest in over a period of time, I want to do investment in rental income because it will also appreciate in value and I'll be able to get my cash. So I would invest in, let's say, the idea that we started with at the beginning. Once I want to take one shop, it's 12 million. I will pay over a 2-year period, or I want to have this conversation with 4 of my friends, and together we want to buy that shop and then make the payment a bit easier on all of us, because all of you participate in that capital appreciation that you're going to get. I hope this session has been of value to you. I think we've even I've stretched my time. I'm really very close, and I know it's break time. Break time is over for most people. I would love to take your question now. For those of us who would have questions, I'm sure that Jennifer would coordinate that. If this has been of value, I'd like to just let me know. I'm sorry we had to just squeeze everything into 45 minutes. I'm sure we'll be having more sessions that we're going to break down. The next session probably can focus on exactly what you should put in your investment portfolio. If you want to put real estate, how you should invest in real estate, what real estate should you start first, and then what real estate, how do you determine the kind of real estate to buy based on the size of your portfolio. We're going to be doing that. So thank you so much for your time today. I will yield the floor, and then I will take your question.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Dr. Shea, for that session. I'm sure we all learned a lot. So now we'll be going into the Q&A session. So we have 2 questions here. One question from Yemisi Adenusi. Sorry for that. So Yemisi is asking, please, when you talk of deposit and interest, are you referring to depositing or earning interest in Nigerian banks?
Yeah, so for the sake of this webinar, yes, I'm referring to investment in Nigerian banks. Now, there are quite a number. You can actually invest in other instruments apart from fixed deposit in the bank. You can decide to invest in federal government bonds. They are fixed income instruments. They are very secure, and they provide, at the moment, the return are quite high. 15, 20, 25%.
Okay, we're moving on to the next question from Tolulope, who says, how can you have a fresh start on building your financial portfolio after falling victim of being part of a Ponzi scheme because you were in a relationship with an abusive partner and was hard to leave due to wrong orientation? How can I build my integrity and financial relationships again? So,
the first thing, can you hear me? Right? My audio is good. The first thing is this: don't run away, don't disappear. That is the mistake a lot of people. If you're honest and you know that this was just a bit of problem, you don't want to run away. You want to own up to say, look, I made a mistake, right? So that's the first thing. And then you want to keep at what you're doing. I've started an investment program, not because we had to be fraudulent, or because the economy and then was. So first thing is to be available, to not. Second thing is to not ask, how can I make it up to those I've been involved? If it's too heavy at the moment, you want to just keep doing. This is the thing about life. Sometimes you'll be sure that some of the people that had issues when you were transacting that earlier, if you are still and you see the value, you can say, okay, you know what? In this way, it doesn't have to be money all the time. Some of them will learn to respect, and you'll be shocked that some of them can become your customer on the long term. So you just want to keep doing what you're doing in the right way. You want to get more knowledge. You want to keep giving value to the new people you meet, and then you want to rebuild. So as you continue to deliver, continue to be more cautious, you continue to be confident based on experience. Building this, it's part of what has happened. Some will definitely not forgive you for the rest of their life, but you just have to move on and rebuild that. It's going to take time. It's going to be stressful. Sometimes they will look at you and say, "Oh, fraudulent person." But part of the price you have to pay. But just keep doing what you do. Learn from what has happened, and then go do something. Go do more in the right way. Takes time, but you.
okay, thank
please
you.
talk on the okay, let me someone say, how safe is your property for non-indigent? It is 105% safe, because we're also holding a chunk of our properties. We're not selling all, we're also keeping, and they are shops or residential duplexes. So your property is safe, and then you just perfect your document. We can actually perfect it for you. Where else do we have property outside Lagos? At the moment, we're heavily focused on in Lagos. The closest place we have that is outside Lagos is going to be in Arepo, which is just like 5-10 minutes away from Lagos. Please talk on Ile-Aje Ofa again. Ile-Aje is a shopping complex that we're building inside Ojota car park. If you know where MRS car park, Ojota is like the center of Lagos. If you're coming in from outside Lagos, or if you're traveling outside Lagos, it's a major hub of transportation. And that particular location is said to experience traffic between 5,000 to 10,000 people going through and through. So the wisdom there is to say, look, can we build a trading place, a shopping place where people who are traveling or people who are coming in, can buy things, and then those who have logistic related kind of business, somebody is coming in from Kano, they can drop it in your warehouse or mini warehouse, and then the person that's coming to pick can come and pick it. So that is the basis for that. And that, we're very confident about the return profile for Ojota, the Ile-Aje project, because we know that rental income around that area is about between 1.2 to 1.5. Anybody can just walk into the market. You see a lot of to let, just call them. It's between that. What it means is, if you're buying in at 12 or 13 million and you're getting between 1.2 to 1.5, your rental income in itself is 10%. remember your value will still go up, maybe about 5 or 10% per annum. So the total return coming to you is about 20 to 25 percent, right? 20 to 25%. So that is why, and if you are trading, that is one place you want to get because of the traffic or footfall in that particular place. Please, can we have details of your residential properties that are ready or almost ready? We would, if you are one of our consultants or if you're in the chat group, we're going to drop, sorry? Well, for those of you who might be interested in joining our realtor community, we drop it in that particular group. But we have projects in Maryland, we have one coming up in Yaba, we have one coming up also in Arepo, apart from what we're doing in Ojota. I think I already answered how safe our property is. Okay, so Mr. Akinludare, please, if you could just drop a message for, at this show, I will reach out to you privately now, or Jennifer, and then they would provide further details. How do you contact CASAFINA Development? Is there contact details there? Are you in the WhatsApp group? In the WhatsApp group, that is one very easy way to contact us. But we're also going to drop our numbers. We're going to drop the number of one of our sales team members and then one of our marketing communication team member. Please, let's drop the number on the group. You can give it to Mr. Akim. Please pass it to Mr. Akim. You can reach out to us across. If you have further questions, please drop it in that. We'll be happy to provide answers. And please be reassured that we're interested in adding value, not necessarily to sell to. Yes, we'll be happy if you patronize us, but more importantly, we'll be excited if after this webinar you are able to use the information and that you can achieve your financial goal. I think we've answered virtually all the question. I'd like to say thank you for taking the time to wait till the end. I'm going to give an offer that is unplanned, right? If anybody in this particular webinar is interested in Iliaji, we would knock off 1 million naira on any of the products. That is, if you are interested in buying and you are in this webinar, just let them know that I was in the building and investment portfolio webinar. That is why I'm asking for 1 million naira off on the price we're selling any of the property. So what it means is that you not only gain value from the information, you also made money. So that is my gift to you for attending and waiting till the end of this webinar. I'm sure that my colleagues would want to shoot me because I said that without having this conversation with them. But that is an offer we're willing for those who want to take up any of the units in EAJ as of today. You get 1 million naira off on this shop. So thank you so much, everyone who's here. I think at this point I would call my colleague to take advantage of the offer that we're giving you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Shea. I know that we have all had a great time. It was a very valuable and insightful session. So if you want to reach out to CASAFINA, we'll be dropping a link to the group chat, very soon. My colleague is currently working on putting that in the Q&A chat box. So you can just click on the link and then join the WhatsApp group. There will be sending, just as you said, tips and any other information. You can reach out to any of us via that group chat. So we're dropping the link right about now. So let's just hold on for that before we end the webinar. Thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate. Sorry for the delay. We'll send it shortly. Thank you, Franklin, and thank you, Yemisi. All right, so the link to the WhatsApp group concerning this webinar has been sent. So you can just reach out to any of the admins for any information that you need. Thank you very much for joining. I'll just give like a minute or two so you can click the link and join before I finally end the webinar. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much, everybody, once again. So I'll be ending the webinar right now. Thank you. Goodbye. We hope you join the next one and every other one. Thank you.